Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next answer copy of our aim for agriculture series. So as you all know that we are having aim for agriculture series in which we are having daily answer writing practice and weekly full tests. So today we are going to discuss the daily answer copy of day 37. We have already discussed the copies till day 36. So let's see what were the questions asked and how the student has approached the answer. And by analyzing this type of answer, you can also enhance your answer writing skills by viewing these types of answers. By reading these types of answers, you can learn how to structure answers, how to write certain points, how to add examples, how to introduce, how to conclude, and all these things can be very helpful in your answer writing journey. So let's start. So the first question was, explain the economic principles of farm management. So you all know what farm management is. It involves the application of various kind of things, how to manage your farm, how to use inputs, how to use out and how to sell the outputs. So it is a kind of proper forward and backward linkages along with the management of farm. So there are certain amount of economic principles which are involved in farm management. So we will see what are those economic principles. So first one is the principle of opportunity cost, that is, it is also known as best alternative, because a farmer here has to decide between some 2 3 crops or between one season another season, so to decide which is the best alternative for them. So that is what principle of opportunity cost is, because when you are going for a certain alternative while leaving one, so you are also leaving a kind of opportunity cost there. So if your alternative doesn't perform well, you have to bear that cost. So that is what kind of principle of opportunity cost is, that if you are going towards best alternative, it should be really best and you should get excess amount of economic benefits. Second principle is principle of marginal analysis. It examines the additional benefits and cost of a decision. Okay. For example, you can see the student has also explained nicely with the use of example. Extra round of fertilizer will weigh the marginal cost of fertilizer against crop yield increment. That is, sometimes when the fertilizer are not required in that much amount, but still we are trying to add it. So it has kind of marginal increment, or you can say it could want to be that kind of increment, so it has some bearing on economic of the farm. So this is another factor. So you can see here what I like about this one, because it was a 10 marker question and there are certain amount of principles. So instead of describing too much and focusing too much in one principle, the student has just mentioned fair examples and properly analyzed all the principles with the help of examples. So that makes the answer better. Next was the principle of diminishing returns, because after a certain point, what happens? Adding some kind of input or some kind of fertilizers, irrigation. So there is, although they are added, but there is very little yield, and where there is very little yield increment and the cost of the inputs are not justified. Okay, so that is what diminishing results. Our returns will start diminishing with time. Then we have principle of resource allocation, how we are allocating certain kind of resources. All these things have been discussed by me in detail, so if you are not able to understand here, because also it looks simple, but all these principles have signed a kind of concept to be get into your mind. So if you want to get the concepts in detail, you can simply refer my static videos where I have discussed all these principles in detail. Okay, so that could be helpful to you. Then we have principle of risk and uncertainty. Obviously we have certain amount of risk related to environment, weather, that there could be more rainfall, there could be droughts, there could be disease, there could be pests. So all of these are risks when it comes to agriculture. Okay, so for that what we can do, diversify. Principles of time and value of money in future due to potential earning. Principles of economics of scale, this is important, economics of scale, because with scale our cost decreases and our income increases. Suppose we are buying here 10 kg of fertilizers, it could be our cost should be around 50 rupees, it could be 50 rupees, but instead we are buying 100 kg. So as we are buying in bulk, this cost could reduce to 45 kg, 40 rupees 40 per kg. So with scale there is cost advantage. Okay, that is why you will see with scale the profitability of any business increases. Principle of profit maximization is there. So well written answer, and all the points have been fairly mentioned and again appropriately concluded. So if you want to read the answers in detail, you can pause and read it, because I will be just explaining all the things in brief. So if you want to read it, please pause and do read. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, explain the sigmoid growth curve. So what is sigmoid growth curve? This H-shaped growth curve. This S-shaped growth curve is known as sigmoid growth curve. Has three phases: lag phases, log phases, and stationary phases. So we all know that in lag phases there is slow growth, but in log phases the growth increases substantially. There is exponential increase of growth, and again in stationary phase the growth retards. The growth diminishes. So this is what sigmoid growth curve is. So first tax phase I discussed, there will be initial, or you can see initially there will be slow growth because there is early stages of plant growth. Okay. Then we have, you can read it if you want to read it, you can pause and read it. Then we have exponential or log phase, in which there is rapid growth. Okay. There is rapid increase in biomass of the plants. Then we have a stationary phase where the growth again diminishes. Okay, growth rate slows down again because the plant reaches maturity at this phase. So this is the all the three phases of the sigmoid growth curve. So I hope you understand it, and it is a relatively easier concept. I think you could be easily grasping it. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, write concept of soil moisture and also write role and availability of soil moisture for plants. So we all know what soil moisture is. Okay, the moisture which is available in soil for the plants. That is what soil moisture is. Soil moisture is important for plant growth, nutrient cycling, regulation of soil temperature. If plants want to absorb the nutrients, there again to a kind of soil moisture is required. So that is what soil moisture is. Factors have been mentioned such as soil texture, precipitation, irrigation, drainage. All these factors affect the availability of moistures. And if all these factors are not purely present, this can lead, then it can lead to soil moisture constraints. Okay. Now, what is the role of soil moisture in plant? For water supply, obviously for photosynthesis, nutrient uptake, cell trigger, for everything water is needed, moisture is needed. For nutrient transport, all the student has mentioned here also, nutrient uptake. For nutrient transport, also for absorption of roots, moisture is required, as I have discussed earlier also. For maintenance of soil structure, moisture is required. Temperature regulation is done by soil moisture. If certain kind of amount of moisture is required for the proper growth of soil microorganisms, which benefit us, which benefits the plants. Now, availability of soil moisture. So field capacity has been discussed here. Permanent wilting point have been discussed here. Water available water content have been discussed here. So all the things have been fairly discussed. You can pause the video and read the points if you want to, and again appropriately concluded. So this was all for today. I hope you understood all the answers, and it would have helped you in enhancing your answer writing skills. And for better understanding, you can refer static videos, because I have made things little bit of more broader for your understanding. It is answer writing practice, so I will be not able to deal that much in detail because it will take a lot amount of time, and the video will also become a lot lengthier, which will be not good for the students who are just coming to read the answers for their improvement. Okay, so if you want to get the concepts, do refer those videos. So that is all for today. Please press the like button if you liked it. Please do share, and please do subscribe. That is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.